Hi friends, Kerr, and I have some really exciting news. I have not one, but two brand new product releases. The first one with Joggles.com, my first ever line of background stamps. There are 5 new sets, and each set includes 2 different background stamps. How cool is that? I'm so excited. Now, I also have my first ever release with Lindy's gang, my first set of art sprays, and oh my goodness, these colors just make me so happy. And they are bright and joyful, and I hope that you love them as much as I do. Now in this video, I will of course be playing with these wonderful new products, but I didn't really have a plan. Kinda, maybe, sort of, not so much. But you will see what happens in the video, and honestly, this happens all the time. One marvelous thing leads to another, and so I ended up with quite a few projects, so sit back and enjoy. Now I started this play session by just using some watercolor paper and cutting it up to fit this wood house that I knew that I was going to cover. I just started adding some of the art sprays, playing, picking up some of the beautiful color, and then putting it aside to dry. But of course I had some luscious color on my work table and I couldn't let it go to waste. So I picked up one of my new background stamps and started using it by pressing it into the leftover spray and placing it onto a background. And here I'm picking up some more of that beautiful spray because I just can't let any of it go to waste. So I just continue to pick up this beautiful color and put it all aside to dry. Now, normally I would say be careful when you're mixing your colors, otherwise you're going to end up with browns. But I actually don't mind that at all. I love that these are vibrant, beautiful colors, and when you mix them together, they create a whole new palette. And they're not completely mixed, so you can still see little hints of each color. But I love how I still have these beautiful, vibrant colors as well as these muted colors. Now I knew I also wanted to include some coordinating elements, and so here I'm adding spray and some of the stamps onto some ribbon, and then I also take some of the background stamps and just stamp them throughout a piece of cardstock, which I later come in and take a brush and draw some elements that I will eventually cut out and use as my focals. Now to create these focals, I'm mixing a little bit of my Magicals powder with some water. Now for my first project, I'm cutting down that watercolor paper to fit the house, and then I quickly realized I wanted some metallic feel to the paper, and so I decided to take some gold metallic paint, and I'm using one of the background stamps to add just some additional texture and give it that metallic shine. Now here I'm adding some cardstock as well as some additional elements like this chipboard piece that I ended up mounting on top of a piece of clear matte film that I had stamped one of the background stamps and also used the spray. And so here I'm just assembling the rest of the house and putting it all together. For my next project, I grabbed these little cards that I had created, and they needed a little bit more texture, so I added one of the background stamps And then I'm also using some of these elements that I created earlier, and they were a little bit too much on this background, so I toned down the background by adding a layer of matte Duralar film and stitching it onto the base, then placing my elements on top, and they're done. Next, I grabbed this long watercolor piece and I added some additional texture with one of my background stamps, as well as adding some splatters. And then I printed up this image onto matte computer graphics film. I rounded the edges, added a hole, fed some of that beautiful ribbon that I had created earlier, and finished with some rub-ons, and I have this gorgeous bookmark all done. Now for my final project, I picked up this journal page that I created earlier, and I also wanted to make sure that I used up some of the elements that I also had left over. And so here I am just kind of testing and figuring out what I wanted to use. I really wanted to use this ribbon somehow. And so I ended up sandwiching the ribbon in between a piece of cardstock and a piece of matte Duralar film that I had stamped one of the background stamps on. And so here you're going to see me finish up this page by adding this dimensional element, as well as some of the other elements that I had left over. Well, I hope that you enjoyed spending some time with me today, and I was on a roll. I could not stop. I was having way too much fun, and I hope that you definitely check out these amazing products, my new background stamps with Joggles.com, as well as these wonderful sprays and magicals with Lindy's gang. Make sure you check them out, and thank you so much for being here. Take care. Bye-bye.